Hi, Monica. What brings you in today?
I'm just having a lot of anxiety.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about what's been going on.
So I have this test coming up. It's the National Counseling Exam.
Okay.
And I've been studying for it, but I'm just having a lot of anxiety over it, whether I'm actually going to do well. I don't feel prepared, but at the same time, I don't know what else I could possibly study. And I mean, it's in a couple weeks, and I just feel like if I don't do well, then it's over. Mm-hmm. And I just wasted the last 2.5 years of my life, and if I fail it, then I don't know what I would do with myself. It's basically like the end for me.
Okay. So you've been feeling that this would be like a make or break it type of situation?
Definitely.
Okay.
And it's in 2 weeks, and so I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I stay up late at night studying, which is affecting my like daily life as well. Because I've been like late to work a couple times and things like that. So everything's just been revolving around this exam, and if I don't do well on it, then I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Okay, because it seems like you've been studying so hard that it's kind of taking away some other parts of your life too, whether that be work or what about your social life?
Yeah, it's kind of like non-existent. And I don't want to say I'm pushing my friends away. They know that I have this exam coming up, and they know how important it is for me. But at the same time, those relationships are kind of deteriorating.
Okay.
So it's definitely affecting other parts of my life.
Okay. You've been feeling a lot of apprehension with this test, and now that you've kind of cut off those social systems, those like support systems, do you feel like you're alone?
Yeah, like it's just me and that test, and there's nothing else. And if I don't defeat it, then I've lost.
Okay. Have you always felt this way? Like regarding this test?
I mean, I've had anxiety over other things, and just applying a lot of pressure on myself, and almost trying to do like the impossible.
Okay.
But it's always, I've always succeeded in things throughout my life, and so if this test isn't a success for me, then I see as a complete failure.
Okay. So if you feel that if you don't pass this test, that you feel this will be the end?
For sure. Because I don't know what I would do.
Okay.
I don't have a backup plan.
Mm-hmm. I want you to kind of think about the anxiety, that test anxiety that you have. When you're going through that test anxiety, tell me physiologically, what are you feeling and where are you feeling it?
Just a lot of like weight on my shoulders. Like my heart's beating really fast, and then sometimes my stomach even hurts.
Okay.
Like when I really think about it, or just from other tests that I've done, like when I'm about to take the test, like I just feel like I can't control my body.
Okay. It sounds like you're blaming yourself a lot for this.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just me and the test, Like there's no one else that can. I don't know. I don't feel like there's anyone else who can help me. There's nothing for me to do except pass the test, and that's what's causing all this anxiety.
Okay.
It's like a pass or fail thing.
Yeah. It sounds like you just put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah. And like you said, I do it a lot, like in other aspects of my life. But this one's like the biggest one. I've never felt this anxious about something. The exam's 2 weeks away, mm-hmm. and I'm already starting to feel all of this pressure on my shoulders, all of this.
Yeah.
Like I can't go to sleep at night. I feel like I should be studying.
Mm-hmm.
It's overbearing.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's gone to a point where you're also studying, but do you feel like you're really receiving that information? Do you feel like it's really going through your head?
I feel like I already know a lot of it.
Okay.
But just because I know a lot of it doesn't mean like that's what they're gonna ask me on the test itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could know everything about this topic, but if they don't ask me it, then it's like no use.
Okay.
So when I'm studying a lot, I feel like I know most of it. So it's just like repetitive, just reviewing as much as I can.
Okay. So with this anxiety that you've been feeling, I want to kind of just think of a what if. Okay, and I know this might make you feel uncomfortable, especially with the test anxiety that you have. But I just want you to try something with me, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and just see if you're open to it, and just tell me if it's getting too much. I want you to imagine yourself taking that test. Okay, so just sit back for a little bit and just kind of imagine yourself in that position where you're taking that test. Okay, you're taking it and you're almost done. Okay, and you're finished. When you're finished, how do you feel?
I'm thankful that it's over, but at the same time, I'm eager to know what I got.
Okay, so let's kind of fast forward maybe 2 weeks or so, and you get the results. What would happen if you didn't pass this test?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what would happen, and that kind of scares me.
Okay. I just want you to imagine. I know you say you don't know, and that's perfectly fine, right? Because I mean, this is your anxiety that we're talking about, and a lot of the times we get really scared or really so nervous that we don't want to know, or that we don't want to think of the possibilities. Okay, and I just want you to think, if you didn't make the score that you wanted, or if you failed the test, didn't pass it, what would be your next step?
Well, I do have the option of taking it again,
Okay.
but
Which you don't want to, of course, right?
yeah, I don't want to take it again. Like I can't imagine going through this whole process again.
Okay.
Because the whole anxiety, the whole like not having a life or not feeling like I have a life. I don't want to go through that again.
Okay.
So I definitely want to pass it the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like you've been working very hard. You're studying and you're taking some things out of your social life or out of work to really focus on this exam.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're doing to kind of cope with that anxiety at all?
Nothing that's been effective.
Okay. What are some of the things that you've been trying?
I've been trying to do things for myself, like maybe go out and enjoy watching a movie.
Okay.
But the reason I say it hasn't been effective is because while I'm watching that movie, all I'm thinking about is I should be studying for this test. Like I feel.
So you're not really enjoying.
Yeah, I can't enjoy myself because I feel like I'm wasting time.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I don't know what to do.
Has anyone ever gone over like any type of like breathing techniques with you or any kind of coping skills?
No.
No. So it's more of I'll take a break, I'll go watch a movie, or I'll do walking. But what if you're studying and you feel that anxiety coming up, and you mentioned some physiological things like your heart is racing and you have this weight on your shoulders and your stomach hurts. But have you ever, taken just a second or so just to really breathe? Because a lot of the times when you're having this anxiety, you're not breathing as much as you should. So have you ever worked on any breathing techniques?
No, but I'd like to.
Okay, yeah, we can definitely explore that too. One that I know really works is that when you're having this anxiety, I want you to kind of just close your eyes, but not at a point where, it's, you're trying to fall asleep or anything like that, just for a few seconds. And when you close your eyes, I want you to take deep breaths, but in your brain, I want you to imagine your lungs expanding with all this air and just really filling up and nourishing your body. And then when you breathe out, I want you to imagine your lungs getting smaller to where you kind of just let it go. Okay, so that's something that you can definitely try. I hope that you will try that.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk to you about your support system, because I know you mentioned that you've been kind of cutting off those ties a little bit to study for this test. Who consists of your support system?
I have a couple close friends.
Okay.
That we've just done a lot together. We've been through a lot together. And then I have my family. I'm really close to my family. Specifically my mom and my sister.
Okay. Do they know how you've been feeling with this exam coming up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. And I mean, they think I'm gonna do well on it.
Okay.
But for some reason that's not very comforting.
Right. Okay. So with your family, have they been helping you study at all, or anything like that, or they kind of just trust you to do your own thing?
They kind of trust me to do my own thing. Just because I probably get frustrated. And so they kind of would just rather let me be, and let me go through this. But I mean, I still see them. It's not like I don't see them. But it's just like I said, me and my test, and then they're there for anything else, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
So my biggest issue is that I have to do it right the first time.
Okay.
I know I can take it again, but taking it again is not an option for me. And I guess you can say I'm a perfectionist. Doing it right the first time is a must. And so that's where a lot of the anxiety comes from in it. And if I don't do it right the first time, it's a failure. I don't want to take it again. And if I don't do well, I'm gonna have to go through a complete different career path. And I would just have wasted 2.5 years, like I said before, and it's just a lot of anxiety because it's just like, how can this exam or this amount of hours, decide my future? And that's kind of what it feels like. Taking the exam will decide my future, and that's just a scary thought process for me.
Yeah, and it sounds like even now when you're just sitting here thinking about it, I sense a lot of tension coming off of you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What is going on that makes you feel like you have to get it right the first time?
Well, I feel like I've been successful in like other areas of my life, or like just with school, with my career. I've done well, and so it's just a pattern of doing well that I can't afford to like fail on what I would call the biggest exam I've taken ever before. And so, and I don't want to disappoint other people as well, but mostly I don't want to disappoint myself.
And you mentioned that when you're having this anxiety, a lot of times you'll take an hour or so to go watch a movie, but you don't really feel like you're enjoying it.
No, because in the back of my head, I can't let the exam like leave my brain.
Yeah.
Like
it's always there.
It's always there, and if I'm trying to enjoy something, whether that be watching a movie or like having a meal with my friends, and I always feel like I want to rush it because like I need to go study, or I need to go think about the exam, and sometimes those study, like when I study, like those periods of when I study, they're not as productive, and it probably because I don't get the sleep that I need to, and it's almost like I'm depriving myself of sleep, and it like keeps me up at night, and so like the study might not be that effective because I'm so tired,
Would you be able to try getting that extra sleep?
Yeah, if I like start slowly, Right now I'm sleeping 4 hours a night.
And what were you originally
before I started studying for the exam? I was more around 7.
Okay, so that lack of sleep has really been affecting a lot of things.
Yeah, and I even find myself like dozing off when I like study, and just drinking a lot of coffee, which also causes like those physiological feelings in my chest and my heart when I drink so much caffeine because I'm not really used to it. I'm not someone who's a regular coffee drinker, so that like that change of like coffee intake has also affected me. But yeah, mainly the sleep is the biggest thing, I think.
Okay. Let's work on your sleep for this week. So next week I'm going to see you again at the same time, of course. And we're going to start off with your sleep a little smaller. You said that you've been getting about 4 hours, so let's see if you're able to hit 6. Is that something that you'd be able to do?
I can try.
Okay.
I can try to do
And we're not talking, this has to be, every day from the next time I see you. How about at least 2 days out of this week, you try to hit that 6 hours of sleep?
Okay. I can try that.
Okay, so that sounds good. If you need anything, you can give me a call, and then if not, then I'll see you next week, okay?
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.